started.
Okay, so today we're going to do the grooming session. Also, we focus on Agile, on how different stages in Agile and how we need to do everything. So on the screen, we see in analysis. So your story that you're about to start, or if you have a bug or if you have a story, they go in analysis before you start anything. So then from there, we prioritize what needs to be done. I review them, then I think, okay, this needs to go into the sprint or not in the sprint. So we put everything there. So when you raise your bug, the first thing you raise your bug in Vsds, then you review. I review them in Vsds if I think they need to be fixed. So then I bring them to analysis. So when they are ready, so to be fixed or to be done, so it goes to ready for development. And also in ready for development, so when developers are working on that particular story, it goes to in development. So when they finish on that particular story or bug, they move it to ready for QA. That is when you start to execute that test. I say execute test. I don't mean I did not say start the test, because you know, when we did the training, I told you about test preparation. So for instance, some people would get maybe this particular bug, and now it's ready for development. It's not even in development yet. So but what do you need to do at that particular time? You open that story, you think, okay, what do I need to test in the story? You write your test cases in Vsds. So but if it's not ready for QA, you cannot execute it, but you have your test cases ready for testing. So the same thing also for instance, let's say I think someone was talking about unsubscribe from site. This particular story is in development. So as a tester, what you need to do is to write your test cases. After you logged in, then you can unsubscribe from the site. So write your test cases. Okay, I can log into the site. Then can I see unsubscribe link from my account details? So when I subscribe for email, you have an email sent to the user, and this is a sample of that email when you're subscribed from the page. So then, so that's what you need to see. But right now, we can only write your test cases based on that. Then after you've written your test cases, then it goes to then you have to wait for developers to finish developing it. Then you can execute your test cases. So for instance, on these ones right now that is in ready for QA, so you can actually write your test cases on this. So I'll use this as an example, then I'll go to Vsds to see. So when you finish writing your test cases and you execute on the story on ready for QA, if that story passed, then you move it to done. But another good state is like when you start working on that ready for QA, because it's only ready, it's not. So when you start testing it, it's a good practice to move it to in QA. So I can drag and drop it, so that's it. But as well, also you could open it and say move. You could open it like that and say move. Then where do you want to move it to? I want to move it to in QA. So that is moved to in QA. So I can as well move it back to ready for QA. So that's how to move. So once you've finished, that particular story is now at the bottom. So you finish that and it's passed, then you move it to done. You move it to done. So that's what you need to do throughout. So but right now this is in ready for QA. So okay, let's go to Vsds. Okay, before we do that, before we go, okay, let's go to Vsds. So if you go to Vsds, you go to Vsds giftreach.visualstudio.com. So that should take you here. You should log in. Where after you log in, it should take you to here. Or if it doesn't take you here, you click on the project. Then you have different projects. So there is team 2 that I think this is their own project. So for the other projects, I think you are using this one before, but going forward, we're going to use the intern one. So that is the intern. So then, so this is what you will see. Then the next one is like people will ask, where do you look to? So there are different ways to look also. You see, if you click here, your work. If you click on the work, you see work items. The work items are in VSTS. Every bug, story, task is called a work. They are called work items. So backlog, we said there are 2 types of backlog. There's product backlog and there's sprint backlog. So backlogs are the stories or the bugs that you want to work on. And also you can also create a query to say, I want tags assigned to me. I want tags that has been tagged as related to me, or I want every work item which is a bug, because like I said, every work item could be backlog, let's say PBI, yeah, product backlog item, product backlog item, or it could be bug, it could be tags. So everything is grouped into work items. So normally you go to the backlogs to see what you have. So you click on the work, you click on the backlogs. So for sprint 1, you say, let's say we have in sprint 1, what do we have? There's nothing actually in sprint 1 right now. So I will assign everything to sprint 1 after we finish this call. But if you go to the backlog, you should be able to see things in the backlog. So these are different stories I've moved. So some of them need to have the title as it is on Trello, but I think after this call I would do that. Some of them have been moved, like 3.6 or 3.9 have been moved. So yeah, so let's go through number 1, which is 3.1. 3.1 is a PBI. Normally people they call it PBI. This is product backlog item. So I've created this, but let's just go through how to create it again. So if you want to create a new product backlog item, you can see you just select the type of what you want to create, and that is that. Then the title, let's say my story 1. So normally you won't put 3.2, 3.0 is because we are migrating from Trello and we want to have traceability to Trello. That's why we are doing this. So, but you just put your title and you click on add. So that creates that story for you. Let's see where it is. Where is that? Okay, yeah, so that is that my story 1. So, and you click on that and you can put your description of that story. and acceptance criteria for that particular story in there. So it will be in state of new. Then when you go to product grooming, so it's going to be approved for that to be worked on. If it's not going to be approved, then it's going to be still in the state of new. Once it's been approved that, okay, we're going to work on this, then they put it in approved state. So then after that, you select the iteration that you think is going to be worked on. So for instance, it's going to be iteration 1. So let's go back to a better one that we're going to work on. 3.1, search for a product. So I click on that. Now it's in state of new. So I know that we're going to work on that. I'm approving it. So it's been approved. So reason for approving, because it's been approved by the product owner, which is me. So area, sometimes in most cases, some people, they have different products, so you can create area for different products. So, and you can say this is for property rate, this for gift rate. So you can do that, or different product that you are working on. So, but as of now, it's only one that we have. So then iteration. So you now have iteration. Which one do you want? We want sprint 1. So let's say we start sprint 1, or I'll put it in sprint 2, because I'll assume that we've done sprint 1, which is no. I'll put it in sprint 2. So in sprint 2, that is in sprint 2. So you can save or save and close. So let's save that. So that will be in sprint 2. So we've agreed that's going to go to sprint 2. So now, so in terms of tags, I would say I think this is for team 1. So I target team 1. So I think team 1. So maybe also, and who is working on this? Maybe it's JG. So that is that. So I'll target myself and I'll put my, but in other scenario is where if you're working at work, you assign to yourself. But because we have 2 users here, so that's you assign it to yourself. So let's say my name is Tester, so I assign it to myself, so I can put some tags here. So that's fine. But as you want to work in you put your name and you put your team, so that we know, so that we can have a query to say which team is working on a story. So, and if you want to receive emails, which I think is not relevant to us, or update on that particular story, you click on follow. So that follows the story. Then also, so I'll talk on this right now, but before we do that, okay, before we do that, so this one also, you can change the type. For instance, you create a story, right, and you discover that it was not meant to be a story, it was meant to be a bug. You can change the type to a different one. So you can say, no, it's no longer product backlog item, it should be bug or epic or feature or impediment or tax. So you can change that, but you don't want to do that anyway. So you can do that by just saying change type. So you can copy that story. Let's say you want to create another one, so you can copy that. Also, you can move stories. So I think this is going to be applicable to you guys that have already created test cases in the other project. So you can move it to this particular project and link it. So I will show you how that is done. So then okay, let's go. So now this one, we have different scenarios here. The first one is number A, searching for a product. You can search for a product from using your title, your descriptions and everything, and also by distance. And the second part is distance calculation, how to calculate distance and how to use that distance to search for items. So, and the next is your display of the product, how the product is displayed, whether on the live side. So you need to confirm that also. So, and that is that. Those are the things that you want to clarify. So, and already we know that your development URL is dev.giftways.com. So that's your development URL. So you should not use the live one. So normally you test on development URL. I've seen some people registering on the live URL, but you shouldn't, unless if you really want to register, but not for testing purposes. So now you have that scenario. So how do you start testing? The first thing I said, when you want to test, is you create your test cases. So let me first save what I've done so that I don't lose it. So I saved it. So that's fine. No, now I need to create my test cases. So if I want to create my test cases, I go to, there's a link here. It's a links, and there's another one here, and there's another one here. So if you click on any one of them, you should be able to get a link. So more often I would use the related work, or you can also click on that. That takes you to here, add links. So you can see the links that, and this is the detail page, and that is the history. You can chat to people and write your comments on that particular story. So you can see what people has done on that story. So as you can see, this is when the story was created. So I created that story, updated field, and priority is changed. Then also that. So, and the same way also with that one. So add links. So new items. So what type of link do you want to add? It's going to be a child, it's not going to be a parent, because, or you can also do a duplicate. But in this case, because you want to create a test case for that particular story, and that means that test case is going to be a child on that particular product backlog item. So it's going to be a non-duplicate, no predecessor. So, and what you want to create is a test case. So that's a test case. It's not going to be another tag. It's going to be test case. So, and the title of that test case, we've seen in that one that we have two or three title or three test conditions to test. The first test condition is searching a product. Let's say by fields. By different fields. And you click on OK. So that takes you to this place. So if you go to links, I'll copy this, I can put it in a different tab. So if you click on the links, you should be able to see the product backlog item. So you can click on that. That is the story itself. So, and your test cases should be also linked to that. Your test cases should be on the link. Let's refresh. Should be linked together. Oh, it seems we've not actually saved it. So let's do that again. So new searching product okay, sorry. searching product by fields. So yeah, we did not actually save this, so we need to click on save. Then yeah, so once you save it and then you go back to the story, you should be able to see that on the links. So that is the test case, which is for that particular product backlog item. So this is test case. And also you need to look into the icon is different. You can see that is different and that is different. So you click on that takes you back to the test case. Now from here, what do you need to do? You want to write your test case. So this is what the product owner has said that particular application should do. So you should be able to search based on this following. So now the first thing, you need to go to the search page. Go to the search page. For some people, I've seen some people written expected results for something like this. So for some other people, they don't normally say it's not necessary because you are not actually testing this particular step. But some people will just say, oh, search page is displayed. But I don't think if you ask me, I don't think that's relevant because it's not what you are testing. So this is just journey, but that's okay to put it. So then the next one is after that, search based search, or you could as well just put your step on what you want to search. So some people, you can put high level, so say search based on title. What is that? So then say baby items only are displayed. So what I'm saying is that, for instance, if I go to dev.gfree.com and I say okay, before I do that, let's say this is what happens. You get this task, you get this requirement, and from the requirement, it doesn't say the journey, it doesn't say what you need to click. So in that regard, you cannot actually say click on home, click search, click this like some people would do. But because this is normally when you have the requirements, the application might not be developed yet. So what you need to do is you need to make do of what the requirement says, and then write your test cases based on what the requirement says. So the requirement should say that it should be possible to search based on title of the page and also based on description of the page. So now you go in there and say, oh, search based on the title, and you put the title that you want to search, and you are expecting to be okay, it's only baby items that should be displayed. And that is one. You can do that and put title and say this is for my first test case for that particular, and that issue done. So, and you can go back again and say, okay, I want to add new link. So searching products based on fields. So now descriptions. So here also you want to say the same thing. Search go to search page, search. So some people will ask, okay, now this might not be sufficient for you, in the sense that in some cases you might as well need to, before you do this step, you might need to do some pre-step, which is log in to the site, create a product with description, my new product. So basically, you could create that particular product yourself, and also you could, if you know a product, you could also use that description, that particular product. But in most cases, you want to control your test by yourself. So it might be possible for you to create that product instead of relying on the product that's already been created. But also, if you know the product you're looking for, you just keep that particular these two lines. You go to the search page. Then after you search, I can delete that. So then you search for that particular product with description, as I've said, my new product. So then your expected results, only products with my new product. So on and on like that, you create your story. Create your story. So now if you go here, you can see you got two test cases for that particular story. So you go under that, and the same way also you search based on the type of the product. So whether it's wanted or offered product. So I'll just put the type is wanted or offered. So then also you search based on location, you search based on who posted that particular item, your friends, or if you want to search by the one that your friends has posted. So which means that you need to register and also invite someone. So you need to have a friend, right? Technically, for you to use this, also you need to have a friend. So you need to go through the journey for a friend to do this. So this is a big what story. So I don't expect only one person to do this one. So, and I think we'll go through in that other session. So then after that, you go, you also can search based on the members of your community, which also means that you need to have a community. You need to create a community and also post on that particular community. So you have a community, you post to that community, and you go and search that, can I actually see that particular product that was posted in that community. So that's what you need to do. So, and distance also, you want to post to be sure that okay, so this is development information. So the calculation of the distance is calculated based on that API. But what you want to ascertain is like when a user is searching for a product, the user can search based on the distance to him. So what you want to do is that, okay, you want to log in by yourself and you want to post a product that is 5 minutes away, 5 miles away from you. You want to post another one that is 10 miles away from you. You want to post another one that is 20 miles away. So this is you using equivalent partitioning and also boundary value analysis to see, oh, if I put 5 miles, am I seeing only 5 miles, or so I don't see the 10 miles one that I posted. So if you put 20 miles within 20 miles, so you should be able to see everything within 20 miles. So you are expected to see 5 miles, 10 miles, and 20 miles. So you are not expected to see 50 miles. So for you to do this, you need to create several test cases. That means that you need a test case. You need to create a product that is 5 miles from you. You need to create a product that is 10 miles from you. You need to create a product that is 20 miles from you. You need to create a product that is 50 miles from you. Then you now search each one. So if you say, okay, I want 5 miles, you're only going to expect to get only one. If you say I want 10 miles, you expect to see 2, because there is one posted I posted for 10 miles. There's one that I posted for 5 miles. So you should see 2. So one, how do I know the miles? The best option is for you to go to Google and you know your postcode. You put your postcode when you're posting that particular product. So, and you now put a location when you're posting, when you register, you know your location, right? So, but you go and now create a product and you put your location of that product to a location that's 5 miles away from you. So, for instance, if I live in Welling and I know that, okay, maybe Dartford is 5 miles from me, so I register in Welling, but I put Dartford as the place that the product is, so that when I want to search, that particular product I posted in Dartford will be there. So I can also go and register and post another product, and I call it, and the location would be maybe 10 miles from me. Maybe that is charting, or maybe it is on Gilliam or something like that. So, but I go to Google and I will look for 10 miles radius for myself, and I put that there as a location. So the same way for the 20 miles and everything. So, and that's what you need to do. So then, so you search based on that, and I said on the product page we can display the map for the location. So on the product page, you should be able to see the map of that particular you should be able to see the location of that particular product on a map. So then also, after you've done that, you should display the results. You should display the results. So when you're displaying the results, the image, say see image for the proposed design. So I think this is on Trello, so you should be able to see that image on Trello. So on left hand side, so there's left hand side. So on the left hand side, you should be able to see blocks for advert, categories, search field, and location. So when you are writing your test cases, you can say, okay, confirm that on the left hand side there is blocks for advert, there is block for categories, there is block for, and there is block for location. So some people will go in more detail just to confirm that, even though you see those blocks there, are they working? So that's where you confirming that the category section is working. You can see also the filter button is working, the location by region is also working. So then the second part of the result is the main body. On the main body, you should be able to display the results. So which is what we confirm at the top based on that search criteria. So results also can be sorted. You confirm that result can be sorted. So that will be another test case on its own. Result, how to sort that result. Then also display the product. How is the product displayed? Then you have right hand side also. You confirm that on the right hand side there's advert. So that's that for that particular story. To be honest, that's a big story. So and so if you're able to go through it and you're able to write those test cases, then to be honest, I can say and it's kind of so detailed enough, then to be honest, you are on a good path, I would say, for who is working on it. I know that for people in the internship, so they are working on this. So and some people are assigned to each of the story. So, and which is good, I think is good. But however, for I don't want a situation where you think it's not assigned to you, you shouldn't look at it. Some stories are so easy, doesn't take you a few times, but you won't actually benefit from them because they are so easy, they are not so detailed or challenging enough. So I would say even though you are not assigned to a story, please look at them and also try to attempt them. Or not even attempt them, do it on your own self also, and to be sure that okay, you can write the test cases, you can test it, you can see where's the bug. So because and also when you go for interview, you should be able to have I have done this, you have confidence on what you've done. So it's not like someone did it for you or someone. So that's the point. So most of those, so even stories that are not assigned to your team, have a try, look at them and see what if you can actually look and see. So quickly I'll go to the next one. I might not be able to go through everything within the time. So now you can see now this is now in approved. I went back to work and I click on work items also. You could also use the backlog. Anyway, that's no problem. So iteration part is now in Sprint 2. I've got my tag, that's my name. So you can do that. Then also product posting. So the same thing also in product posting. I'll go quickly on that. So this one you want to do bulk posting. So as a user, you want to post a product and you want to post as many products as possible, and you want to use a CSV or Excel sheet to do that. So and basically that's what you want to do. And also you want to have an email reminder. So at every X configurable time, an email should be sent to user to update their products. So they can either close or repost that particular product. So that's basically what this is. This you can see this is fairly easier than the other one. So just need to say, okay, can I post multiple products? If you don't know, if it's not yet developed, then you might not know the step to do that. So sometimes it's okay to write high level test script to say I'm able to post a product. So what you're going to do in your execution is now to follow the step to create that particular product multiple times. So it's not creating individual ones. So you need to create an Excel and put all those products there. So based on what the story has said. So I think for those who are working on this, so if you're working on the story is in this on VSTS, also look at Trello, and to be sure that there might be some comments on Trello that developers have put into there. Read those comments. So for instance, let me go to 3.2. Yeah, for instance, this is a good example. So and yeah, you can see there's some comments here and also screenshots that you need to look into to see, okay, if you've done what you need to do. So that is also very important. So go to the, okay, so that is that. If I go back again, wish list. This is another big one also, to be honest. So and I will propose that everyone attempts to do this also, because it's also very big. So first test case, creating wish list. So which is like you open wish list, you create that wish list. So your page to create that wish list to contain all these fields, which is basic. So then after you create wish list, so you can now create also wish list for a friend. So the first one, you create wish list for yourself, but you can also create wish list for a friend. So on behalf of a friend, you can create wish list. So after you create a wish list, whether you created for a friend or you created for yourself, so you can share the wish list. So how do you share wish list? Posted on Facebook, Twitter, and everything. So you can do that. So then also your wish list is displayed. So how is it displayed? So the owner should be able to see that. You should be able to see the friend who posted the item you are shared with, and also you can decide when decided to get an item, the owner should be able to get an email informing him. So you get an email informing you of the product. So then also you can update your you can get an email about your wish list, because it's possible that people create wish lists for many days and nothing happens. So after X number of, so if it's a configurable, it's talking about admin. So you need to know how many days has been configured in admin. So it means that every 4 days an email is sent. Someone will ask me, how will I test that? Because for instance, if it's 4 days, do I need to wait for 4 days for me to test that? No. As a tester, you shouldn't do that. So what you need to do is that you go to the admin and you select it to maybe 1 day. So when you set it to 1 day, so you expect to get emails after that 1 day. So even though it's maybe set to 40 days normally in production, but in test you set it to minimum number of days so that you can quickly test it. So then admin viewing, this is also this is from the admin. So the admin should be able to add dates of created wish list, and also wish list can be sorted and everything. So this is another one I think is a big one that everyone should also attempt to see if they could solve it. So that takes us to badge. So in badges and categories of users, so I think this could be admin setup. So when a user achieves a milestone, say it's got, because every activity is on the site, you get like a points. So when you get to a point system, so then you get some badges. So based on what you achieve, right now it's been set to maybe if you achieve 20 points, you get a badge. Like I told you before, now in production it might be set to 1,000 points. So that means that you have to do different activities to get 1,000 points. You don't want that. So in test system, you can just put a small number to say, oh, I just want to get the first milestone. My first milestone will be like 20 points. So you quickly get to 20 points and you confirm that you get an email and that you've earned a badge and get the status, and email notifications is sent to you. So then also, like you can see now, users can be assigned to different categories of badges. So there's gold, there's platinum, there's silver. So you can see say gold on 10,000, platinum 1 million, maybe silver 5 million. So you don't want to do 1 million transactions, or you don't want to get 1 million points before you can get platinum. But however, you want to test it. So what do? Maybe your gold might be let's say 30 points, your platinum might be 50 points, your silver might be maybe 10 points, just to make sure that okay, you get to that particular threshold on time. So, and it said this is configured in admin, so you need that admin access to test that. So I can tell you how it's being configured. I think it's got 10, it's got 30, 20 or something like that. So yeah. So yeah, 1 minute. Okay. All right. So I'll put the details there. So anyway, so okay. So the next one, which is similar to badges, is reward and cumulative. So that is also the same thing. So if you go to So, like I said, okay, what we are doing is what they call grooming session. Is when the product owner actually tells you what that story should be. So normally you ask question about what that story is. I don't understand this. Then be able to explain what that. So people, you know what are the challenges that you're going to face, and then you can be able to. In some cases, also you might have to put points and everything. But for today, we just make it simple. I just explain what those stories are. So as I was talking about the reward, so here you have this banner. So it's the reward. So you click on that. So when you click that, that should take you to the reward point. So it's going to tell you how many points and rewards that you have. So this particular user has got the 4 badges. So, and you can see, and also number of points and how the points are awarded is here. So that is on that one. So you can see, so what you're talking about is summary and cumulative of the point end. So the summary or the cumulative of the point that this is a rough score. This is the rough how the points are end, but the cumulative, so that should be somewhere. You want to see, okay, for instance, this is saying sign in. So how many times have I signed in? What are my points for all time I sign in? What are my points for every time I sent an inquiry? So you want to have a summary of everything. It's not the detailed one. So if you cannot find that, then that is not yet developed. So yeah, this is not, it's not what I'm talking about. So, but however, before you pick anything, you need to know where the states of that particular story. So if it's in dev, that means it's not ready. So even if you are trying to see where is that particular point, so you can see its reward and point system is in development. So you won't actually see that particular button or the functionality. What you can do before it is finished is for you to go and write your test cases. You can write your test cases in high level to say, so then when you finish, you can do the low level one to say, oh, maybe click here, click here, click here, expect to see this. So in high level, what you expect to see is, okay, one, go to my profile page and also like click on that particular badge, click on the badge. Then on this particular page, you should be able to click a link that takes you to the summary of all the points end. So, and let's say for instance, if the user logs in 10 times and earn 10 points each time, so then it should be on 10 times and earn 10 points. So it should be 1,000 together, 1,000, no, 100 for that particular point. So, and that is what it's talking about. So you should have something like this. So, and the table should look in the form of the point you earned by inviting 200, and the point you earned for signing in is 50, and also on and on like that, then to 2 points. So that's what the story is all about. So, and yeah, the blogs, you should be able to create blogs and everything, invite friends via emails and API. So yeah, basically that's it. So what you meant to do is, one, look at the story. Before you look at the story, know the state of that particular story. So know that if it's in ready for development. So which is ready for development means they've not actually developed it at all. So you shouldn't see anything on that or on the URL about that particular story. However, you can write your test cases. It's a good practice because then you should visualize what it should look like. Then from there, you write your test cases. So then the same way also, if it's in dev, also you need to visualize what the BA or the product owner has written in the requirements and write your test cases based on that. So Then when the story is now moved to ready for QA, that means it's been developed. You can have a visual representation of that particular story. So you go back to your story, and then if you feel like, I would say yes, you should. You can now write low level. About low level means that now you know the journey. For instance, if you say go to search page, I don't know what's the search page, but I'll only put there because I don't know what the story should be. As in, how do I go to the search page? But when I finished, when the story has been finished, as in when developers finish writing, developing it, so then I know that for me to search, I need to click on search for freebie. So on the home page, and that takes me here. So, and you got all the categories here. So I can actually then start to say, okay, I want to search by title. So for instance, let's say I'm looking for a product. I'm looking for this product and it's got poll. So I'm looking for a product with keyword poll. So I can filter based on that. So you should bring everything that's got poll. And you can see that technically is a bug because now there was a product with poll and it's not coming out. So I should be able to see, based on my location, okay, maybe I'm not specifying any location. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe that's the problem. So it's not based on my location, so it's not specified on any location. So that is coming out. So that's what you want. You want to, that's the first test. Then the second test is that you want to test on description. So for instance, yeah, okay, let's say you open that and you go to the description of the application. So for instance, let's say much appreciated. I say, okay, I should be able to see this. Appreciated. I want to get everywhere that it is for, I think, though, because this is the same product. I don't want to do this so that I will be sure that let me move away from this particular page and so to say I get a fresh new page. Then yeah, okay, I'm searching for much appreciated. I want no. So it's bringing lots to me. So is that true? If I go into this one, can I see much appreciated? Oh, brilliant! Yeah, appreciated is there. So if I go to the next one, is it appreciated? Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's you can see it. Then it's bringing that also to you. So what if I now remove it and say much appreciated? So that should limit other things for me. So, and then that is bringing that. So, and so let's say I want to get this. Okay, so it seems it's working very fine. You can see that now it only brings this one only. So based on no location specified. So if you want to now do minor location, then you need to specify the location that you want to think. So for instance, this is based on Mora. So you can say, okay, I want the one in Mora, UK. So then you filter based on that. So it brings that out. So if you now say, okay, no, I want it the one in Welling, UK. So you should expect not to bring this is used in negative testing. So based on that, you should expect not to get anything. So which is what you are trying to look. So and you can see. So if you now say, okay, based on my location, I don't, yeah, you shouldn't see anything. So however, there's something missing here because that story was talking about distance. This is not, I think this is not there. There's no distance. You can see that's a bug technically because that story talked about having to also search based on distance to yourself. So you can see, yeah, you can select star is not developed. So that is a bug. If the story is finished from Trello, if Trello says it's search, yeah, Trello says okay, it's ready for QA, but now I cannot search based on location. So what I need to do now, I've seen a bug. So in Trello, this was in Vsds. I will now go here, click new item. What I'm going to create is a bug. So click on that and click on bug. So, and I said there is no functionality to search by distance. So there's no functionality to search by distance. So my retro step, these are the steps to create that particular bug. So I know the steps now. I can say go to dev.give.com, click on search for freebie. So that takes me to search for freebies. So even, yeah, look at the product filter. There is no yeah, so you just need to do that. Your expected behavior should be there should be a section or field. So that is you writing the expected behavior. Then what is your action? No fields for distance searching. So then you can save that. So once that is saved, I'm sure you should be able to add attachments. So then in some cases you might want to go put a screenshot and say, okay, I want to snippet to get your snippet to. So you get snippet to, and then you click on new, do screenshots, copy, and you can save it. No, what's that? No distance. So that's where I'm saving it. So now I go back to Visual Studio and I want to put the screenshots. Add attachment. The attachment is stored. One. So okay, so there's a distance field. Oh, okay. I think that means I missed it. So okay, 1 minute. Let me is telling me there's a distance field. So let's go back there. Oh, all right, cool. Thank you, Yemi. So exactly. So you can see sometimes, yeah, you could get carried away. So this was going to happen. So now this is a very good thing. So I have raised a bug, which is not a bug, and developer is going to come to me and say, "Deji, Obish, you are not doing your work properly. You should go to Specsaver." So what's going to happen? He's going to say, "Oh, will I look stupid? No, I'm only doing my job." Exactly. So I've already created a bug, and I said, okay, John, it is your bug. I've raised a bug, and John is going to say, DG, no, there's a distance field. You didn't check properly. And I said, okay, yeah, this was going to happen. Where's my screenshot? So I open the screen. It's going to open the screenshot to me. They'll say, "Oh, Deji, even your screenshot, this is here. So you're not looking properly." And I'll say, "Oh, sorry, I missed it." So then what would I just do? I just close it. And I say, "Okay, no problem. I can close that particular bug. Open it." Oh, sorry. That's not. So open it. So and I say, okay, yeah. So I can remove it. I say, okay, false alarm. And so why am I removing it? Oh, not a bug. Or is it a duplicate? I say, oh, not a bug. And that's it. Then I close it. So that's it, and it's done. So so you can see. Oh, okay. Uh, Someone is saying, how did I get the screenshot so fast? Okay, I'll do that again. So there's a tool called Snippy 2. Snipping 2, you just go start, write snipping. So you have that Snippy 2. So when you click on that, it opens that to you. That's a tool. So you click on new. So to create a screenshot. So if you click on new, for instance, let's say I want to do another one for a different page of the application. So then I say, okay. And the guy now came back and said, so before I close it, let's say before I close that particular story, I want to confirm that, oh, this is still there. And I want to do that. I take my snippet to sometimes when you click away, it doesn't open. So, and I can decide to do something like that. And I click on new, and I can do that section only. So that is that. So because I supposed to go to Specsaver and I didn't go. So but this time around I want to be sure that this is working, and I can highlight it to the guy and say, yeah, thank you, this is there. So or you can also click on that and do that. So you can do as many, or you can also erase what you want to erase. Then click on save. So once you click on save, it asks you where you want to save it. So now, initially I said no distance, but in this case now, there's distance field. So I click on that, then that is that saved, and I go back to the Vsds, and I put that screenshot just to confirm that that is this. And I think it's also very important because then you show an evidence that you've retested it and everything seems to be fine. So you go to screenshot attachment. This is the one that you attached before, and now you want to attach a different one. So you can click on add attachment, and this is a new one. And so you click on save. So you now have like two evidences, one with fields and one with distance field, one without a distance field. So that's it, then it's already closed. So and then also you could also add comments to it, and you can put your comment to see and say, oh, sorry, John, I think oh, no, sorry, that should be on details and then discussion. So sorry, John, for the false alarm. So, and you, so John also can reply to you and say, oh, DG, no worries. So, and that is that. Then that discussion should be, you should be able to see that discussion. So let's go back. With Mr. Frozen. Yeah, no, okay. I think my laptop is behaving funny. Okay, all right. Let's assume. Okay, I think that's okay. So let's assume that was a genuine case, genuine error on bug that we've seen in this particular training. So what you need to do is, if you found a bug, yeah, let me know that this is a bug, right? I'll review them. For instance, you can see that even me, that I created a bug, was not a bug. Yemi has to inform me that this is not a bug, and I don't take it as it's not kind of, I'm not offended that it's not a bug. So you shouldn't say, oh, I need to be sure this is a bug. What you don't want is like for you to miss a bug. It's better you raise it and say it's not a bug than now you don't raise it and it was a bug. So anything that you think doesn't look right to you, you should just raise it. So it's okay to close it, but don't miss it at all. Just raise it. So what you need to do, raise it on Visual Studio. Let me see if I can open it again. Okay. Okay. I'll refresh. Open it in Visual Studio. Once you open it in Visual Studio, let me know, or also tell your team, let them know that there's a new bug. Then we'll review it together. If it's a bug, that's fine, cool, that's it. We move it to Trello so that the developer can fix it. So then this comes here. So then, so you create that particular bug here. No distance. So then that is when I have reviewed it, everybody has reviewed and we think it's a bug, then we create it here so that developers can see it, and then we'll move it to ready for the developers to fix. So once they fix it, they move it to once they're ready to fix it, rather, they move it to in development. That means they are working on it. So what that is telling you is kind of a communication. That's why Agile is very good. So it helps you to communicate to your team. So, and you know that the bugs that you've raised is now in development. Someone is fixing it. So you know that, oh, I might get this bug very soon. So you are preparing for it. So once they finish it, then they move it to ready for QA. So that means you can now start executing it. But if you need to write your test cases, you should have already written it before. It's not when that story is in QA that you start to write your test cases. So now, when it's in that stage, then you start executing. So when you start executing the test, you move it to in QA. That means I am now doing it. I am executing that particular test. If it passed, you move it to done. If it doesn't pass, you move it back to in analysis to say, okay, this is, then you put your comment in there and you say, oh, the developer is shit, is crap. Of course, don't say that. So this is not fixed. And you do the same thing also. I would quickly do something, so you put a screenshot also. But yeah, it's a bit clever also. You might not even need to save the file. So let's say I want to do a screenshot now with the drop down. So now I want to do the drop down. So what you need to do, you can as well just press your Alt and print screen. Alt and print screen, just you can do with print screen, but print screen takes the screenshot of that particular of all your screen. But Alt print screen, for instance, if I do something like this, so if I do print screen, that takes everything. But if I do Alt print screen, that only takes the print screen of this particular window. So then I can go to that particular, to the story. I can Control V to paste that particular with that. So you can see that is display. And with the drop down. Sorry. Said, do we have to edit the high-level test cases written after the story is released? So it's not the story is released. After the story is developed, I would say, to be tested, ready for QA. Okay, the word is not released because the release is when it's already finished. So and yeah, so when the story is released, yeah, or open another link and write another test. You don't need to open another link. So when the story is now, or you discover that okay, what I wrote, it was very high level test cases. So now you understand the story more. So you just need to edit the one that you've done and put more details if it's required. So you don't need to create a new test case. So that's another work on itself. So, and to be honest, you need to reduce more of this admin work as much as possible. So hope that answers the question. So yeah, basically that is that in terms of the grooming initial. So where am I? Okay. So that is that. So the same way also, like I've thought about how to test this thing. So I will say, please, even if for the teams, even that is been assigned to you, this is what I would say. The people that have been assigned a task, is your responsibility to make sure that task is finished. But I would propose that every member of the team that have been assigned should work on that team together, on that particular story together. What I mean is, like, let's say team A, team one has got 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. So to work on. So let's assume 3.81 is assigned to maybe Gloria, right? And yeah, so because of that, Gloria says, okay, I only want to work on 3.1, so that means I'm not going to work on the other one. So it's going to mean like for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to learn only on that 3.1. That will not help you at all. So you need to know what the other stories are. So you will not even know them by just reading them, right? You need to work on them. You need to be able to say, I can write test cases on this. I have problem. I have challenges. So that's what you want. So even if your team is not, so that's even within the team. So then also you go back to the team and look at what the test cases are of everyone. So that means that, let's say Gloria is 3.1. Gloria is to ensure that 3.1 is finished, but it's going to be a collective effort for 3.1 to be finished. Everyone has to write their own test cases for 3.1, but is it so responsible of Gloria to make sure 3.1 is finished and also to review other people's test cases for 3.1. So the same way for the one that's on 3.2, so that then you'll be able to share your experience. You can learn from that. So that's on your team. So then if you have more time, I will assume, I will really say that look at other team story and try to also write your test cases based on them, because then, like I said, this is more about what you do. It's not about what you know, because you need to do these things, and these are venue for you to actually do them. So you need to go to the other stories also and look at them and see if you can lay your hands upon them and test them. So that is going to be for the grooming. So if you have any questions, so in a normal grooming, this what is going to be you listening to the BA, is BA telling you what you need to do. But of course, the model is going to be more interactive than this. So you need to ask questions, you need to probe what the story is, so, and if you don't understand the story also, and sometimes you might have to say, oh, for instance, this particular story 3.1 is too big. So, and you might break it down into many stories to say, oh, why not let this one be one story, the other one also be another story, so that then you can assign to one person to do. So that's what you do in a grooming session to see, okay, do we really understand the story? Then after that, so also there's something they call estimation. You do estimation, so, and you put effort on that estimation. So some people say, oh, this story, let's assume that this is a big story, right? This is very big. What are the efforts for this big story? Some people will use large, small, medium. That's one way of estimation to say, okay, this story now I think is a big one, so let's say it's extra large. So for the other story, let's say the other story, this one, which is not bigger, is smaller than the other one, so we can say this is now medium, or some people will put M, or normal, or you say 3 points, depending on what they use in their team. So, and I've seen some people, they use, okay, if it's big one, you put maybe 3 points, and that you save that. That is 3. So 3 could be the medium part. So, and the one that we are talking about, which is the biggest one, we can say, oh, that should be 5 points. So that's you trying to see, okay, what are the efforts and how big is each of the stories. So when you are assigning the story, you know that, oh, I took 5 points. And it's not like, because I know you, some of us, they assign the task to you. You know, some story that has been assigned to you were only 1 point. So you already know that you are not doing enough technically. So, and let's say this one now is another big one. So, which I can say it is 5 points. So from there, you know that what each one, at the end of the sprint, if Gloria, sorry, I mentioned Gloria, so is the team lead of one. If Gloria was able to do 1 and 3.1 and 3.3, and that's 10 points, and Deji was only able to do only 3.2, so that means in that sprint, I was only able to do only 3 points. So that's how you measure velocity. Velocity, another thing that they measure is like, how do you cope? Last sprint you are able to do 10 points. This sprint you only do 5 points. So they measure velocity based on that. So this is badge, which I think would be like 2 points, which is like what you are doing is like you are comparing them to the other ones. As you can see, this is this and this one is the same size, and this is kind of in the middle. This the badge is smaller than that one. So reward and cumulative. Looking at that, I can say this is not that big, but it's not that small compared to. So it's going to be 3. So, and so that's you putting the estimate on each one of them. So, and like unsubscribe, that is so small, so I can say that is 2. So the one that is small will be the blog, also can be another 5. If you are given a story to write test cases about, are you going to be giving a URL also? I thought the URL is the application we are building. I am a little confused. Okay, everybody is kind of confused as well. So if you are given a story to write, let's say assume you were given this story to write your test cases on. So, and this is the story. More often than not, if you are given this, that's fine. That's URL. But every person in the team should know what is the dev or the test URL. So if you don't know, you just need to ask and say, oh, which environment am I testing this on? I think it's better to ask. So more often, like I said, it's possible that if you go to this URL, you will not be able to see the implementation of this particular story yet because it's not yet developed. But once it's ready, then that's the URL you need to go. So there's no harm in asking. You just need to say where is the URL? Which URL am I going to test the story on? Because even from some teams also, you can also have different URL. I know for team 2, they have different URL than to this one. They are not using this one, so they are using a different URL. So you need to know which URL you are testing on and also how you are doing that. So that's very, very important. So yeah, that is that. So I think that is the end of my blabbing. So we do retrospective as in, so the retro meeting is another meeting that is done. So I want you to see the how this is done. So then we continue next week on this. Okay. So let's quickly do the estimation. Okay, before there's one thing I want to say about the estimation also. So like I said, estimation during the grooming or prioritization meeting. So you assign those efforts or point systems. So I said you can use t-shirt sizes to say, is this more big, extra large, or something like that, or you can use medium, small, and large, or extra large and something like that, or you can use 1, 2, 3 on something like that. And some people use Fibonacci series, which is like it's similar to what I've started to use right now. So the smallest one is 1, the next one is 2, the next one after the 2 is 3, the next one after the 3 is 5, the next one after the 3 is 8, after the 5 is 8, after the 5 is like you're adding 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8, then 8 plus 3 11. So after 11, that is 11 plus 8, on and on like that. So in terms of Fibonacci series, so that's some people they use. So also I've been in a team that they use podcasts, because what happens, like in a normal grooming session, when you are grooming this what's going to happen. All of us, like 7 or 5 people, we're going to open that story, and the product owner is going to explain, this is what the story is about. This is all, after a bit of the story. So we're going to ask other people, oh, Deji, what do you think is the effort? 5. Gloria, what do you think is the effort? Or Gloria can say, oh no, 7 or 10. Or so because Gloria doesn't know the story very well, or she's afraid. Or someone can say, no, it's 2 because you think it's 2. So in some cases, then you can say, why do you think it's 2? That's 1. So everybody will contribute based on that. Then we put the effort. Because of that, what happens is this was going to happen if Deji is the most experienced person in the team, and Deji say this story is 5, and I bet Gloria will not say it is 2. If Gloria wants to say anything, it's going to be even. Is that she says 5, or she says 10 or 13. So because she knows that Deji is more experienced, she knows what he's talking about. So because of that, the most senior person in the team is kind of have more power, and also is even like domineering in that approach. So what you could do, they do now is now poker estimations. They bring a poker card. So each poker card has got the number. So we talk about the story, and you bring our cards, and we say, now everybody, right? The cards already been written 1, 2, 3, and 5, 7, and no, like I said, it's in Fibonacci. It's going to have 1. It's going to have 2, 3, 5, 8, 11, then on and on like that. So what you need to do is like, okay, the answer ready, bring your card out. So you bring the number that you think that story commensurate to. So if you think it's 5, you bring it. So everyone brings it at the same time. So that will not mean that will not actually. So some people will bring 7, some people will bring different things. You can see some people bringing 2, other people bringing 13. So then you now ask them, say, okay, what do you think is 2? When other people are thinking that it is 13. So you would now say, okay, it's not that difficult because I think we've done it before, and because of that, oh, okay, we didn't know. So they will now. In most cases they will drop it to 2, or they would, or you will agree to say, oh, I didn't actually consider that is so complex. So okay, I agree with 13. Or they can now say, okay, based on the new information that we have, let's do another round of poker. So then everybody does another one. So until the team agrees. So that's what is going to happen in a grooming session like that. So quickly, in that regard, so we're going to do that quickly, and I'll bring this one out. So this one now, let's quickly do that. Well, using your chart. So this is a story. Is an inquiry button. So when you click on send inquiry, so like contact us, there's a contact us button on the page. So but when a user uses the contact us, the title of the message that he receives has got some typo. So that typo is, you can see received is not spelled correctly, so it's got a typo. So let's quickly see. If you want to estimate it, everyone now, if I say 1, 2, go, you write what you think that should be the estimate. Then we can agree on that. Quickly do a grooming on that one. 1, 2, go. You need to type what your estimate is. Go. All right, that's impressive. That's impressive. Thanks. So okay, cool. So that's good. So you can see we got different people saying 5, 3, 4, 2 to be honest. So but what we need to now see is like, okay, why is it 1? Why is it 5? You got that diversity in that. Some people can think, oh, I don't know anything about it, that's why I say 5. If you give it to me, it's going to take longer time. But then if you now look at it in relative to other parts that we've estimated, so now this story, is it let me save it. Is it bigger than this one? If you ask me, okay, maybe I should put my own estimate also. That's what I think. 1. But do you know what? If I said 1 in the first instance, I bet everyone will say 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. That's what's going to happen. So basically, that's what is going to happen because did you know the software? So let us know. Yeah, exactly. So that's it. But I think because it's not bigger than this one, it's not bigger than the unsubscribed one. It could be the same size, but not as big as that. So and I can equate with the biggest one so far. So I won't say 5 because it's searching. This is a big one. So it's basically contact us. Go to the contact us. Put something in there. So even for instance now, what's going to happen is like maybe Emmanuel that say 5 didn't say, oh, there is more than that. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? So because of that, I say, oh, that's true. So I don't think it's 1. So I can as well say, I'll come to your middle, but I'm tending towards 2, but I don't want to say 3. So I will say, okay, let's say 2. And Emmanuel will say, okay, I agree with you because I don't think it's that big as the wish list. So let's do 2, and that's what you would do. Okay, cool. That is that. So yeah, so that is that on the grooming. So we go to the retro now. So yeah, I sent this. Now I'm going to give you a bit of break, 2 minutes break, to fill in what went where, what. This is real time, so as in you just give it a try and see. Once you are putting everything there, it's going to show instantly. So what in the last 1 week that you've been on internship, right? On this internship, what exactly went where? What are the things that you want to improve, and what are the actions to improve them? So I'll give 2 minutes for us to do that. So 9:45, we'll come back again, and so that we can wrap it up with actions. So put what you think went well. If they've written something, you want to also vote on it, you can increase the votes and say, okay, yeah, I support this, I support that, I support that. So so that's what happens at the end of the sprint. So it starts now. So as I'm blabbing, you can start writing what you want to put in there. So at the end of the sprint, what you do, you review what you've done, and you think what actually went very well in this particular sprint. Is not don't look at it so okay, you are not rating the internship, you are not rating the G, you are not rating your team, you are only talking about what went well, and also what are the things that you think should be improved going forward. Then what are the actions that you think, for us to improve on that, what do you think we can do? So okay. So I'll give 1 minute, then we come back to finish it.
Started.
Okay. Sorry, I think maybe some people don't have the link. I'll send the link now again. So you just need to click on the link and add. At least I want everyone to put something, right? I want everyone to put something so that it's going to be fun. So don't think, just put something. Either it's rubbish or it's not rubbish. Just add one thing. Just one thing. So that we make it more lively. And also let's try to fill in the action points also. There's something disappearing on the board. I think is important, isn't it? Okay, so at the end of it, let's go through what everything everyone has said. So trying to figure out how VSTS. So So in most cases, it depends on how you do this. So I think some people will go, so okay, what are the things to improve? So we start on the one that kind of not positive. So we finish on the positive part. So, and that, let's say, okay, one is uh, setting specific time for group meetings. So exactly. So we need to do that. So you need to have time for your group meeting. It might not be, yeah, even if it's just 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So I think you need to do that. So that you can be able to continue with that. So participations, yeah, it may also means also participation in this particular call. So I don't also know how we're going to do that, because we want to have a very good videos that everyone can listen to. So to be honest, I really want to get feedback, because it seems I'm only one talking. I'm not hearing back from anyone. So which is not actually great, I would say. I would like to have someone a place that we can actually talk and also have feedback. But to prevent the noise, so I think everyone needs to appreciate some other people. They are putting the comment there, putting questions. So I think we need to do that often. Everything, write your question. It's okay to write it privately to me. If you don't want other people to see it, that's fine. I'll shout out the question. So let's make it more lively. Ask questions. So even if you're mute, you can use the question buttons to ask questions. Stand up is very, very important, I would say. So it's very, very important. So, and I can actually emphasize it too much. Trying, very, very important. Trying to familiarize myself with Trello. I've heard different people coming about Trello. You're not meant to test Trello. You're only meant to use Trello. Okay, so because some people say, oh, Trello is not the biggest thing. So it's just a means to an end. It's easy. The first, I also find myself in that shoe before, because one is like, you register to Trello. After you register to Trello, what happens? You don't even know. You didn't see the board and everything. But as you go with it, you see that it's easy. What you need to do, go to Trello.com. If you go to Trello.com, if you've not registered, you just need to register. So once you register, it takes you to that. So, but you need to sign up first. Then when you sign up, you're going to see your boards and everything. Yeah, so I've got different boards, so don't worry about that. So then you go to version 2. Maybe I should rename it to something better, so that yeah. So if you go to that, then it takes you here. So, but that you should see that. So then, like I said, now you have different. So this, I think this is just a sample. So yeah, one thing that says, I've seen some people putting stand up on analysis. You're not meant to put your stand up on in Trello. You're meant to put your stand up on the WhatsApp group. So I'll delete this one. So I've talked about different stages in analysis, is where stories that we need to talk about, we need to groom, is going to a new bug. But please don't raise your bug in Trello, raise your bug in Vsds. Raise your bug in Vsds, then discuss within your team. Also, let me have visibility of the bug. Then if it was fixing, so I'll bring it to Trello. Then developer is going to move it to done. So then also, when you're testing any story, look into it's already in Trello, is already in. So I would now the new is already in Trello. So look at Trello, because there's also some information in Trello that is not on VSTS. So you need to look into Trello and see some screenshots and everything. So, but when you are writing your test cases, you need to write your test cases in VSTS. So for this particular story, so you write your test cases. So it's okay to I think what you are going to do when you write your test case, for instance, the one I've written for this particular one, so tag it also with your name. Put your name there. Put your name there. Let's know that you are the one that wrote it, to be honest. So put your name there. So that you know that it's written by you. So even the person that owned that particular story can review it, or also can actually know that this is not me that wrote this one. So you only go and execute the one that you want to execute. So that is that. So let's go back to idea boards. Okay, so communication and interaction. Think interaction is 4%. Yeah, we need to communicate better. So I agree with that. So I think we need to communicate. So the same thing also, communication should increase. So Agile is more about communication. So it's very, very important that we communicate together within the team. So don't, because some people are saying, oh, the WhatsApp is becoming as an I log out and I see 20 what's it called, 20 charts and everything. But no, you need that, to be honest. We need to that's why when I write on this WhatsApp, so and I put some questions in there, so that I think that's going to be useful for you. So you need to follow up those ones also. And I would suggest that you create a Word document and be putting anything that you think are related to you, or you think that are useful to you, and be putting them there. Because to be honest, you're going to lose most of these things. So I would say put them there. That's why I also propose that we have weekly reports. So weekly report will be what you sent in the daily stand-up, so that you create them in that weekly report. Because this is going to help you in your interview. So because your stand-up is what you do every day, right? And once you have it done every day, it's not a CV that you copy and paste from somewhere. It's what you've done. So you go for an interview, you'll be able to explain what you've done, and because your stand-up also say what you've done. So your stand-up also now will also goes into your CV, because you're going to say, oh, I did Trello, I set up Trello, I was able to use Trello, I created test cases in Vsds. All this one goes into your CV. So then when you go for interview, they ask you, tell me about Agile. You're not going to talk about Agile in theory. You're going to talk about Agile in what you've done. For instance, right now, you want to talk about what we did today. We went through grooming. You'll be able to articulate what you did. That is if you're able to send. So your stand-up today will be what we went through today, what you achieved today, what you did today. So then your report also will be the same thing, that, oh, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this. I bet you in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you forget most of these things if you don't write them down also, even though it's practical. So it's even worse if you don't lay your hands upon them to do them. So, and do them, write a report, and it might be just 4 or 5 lines weekly, or if you are so articulate, you can have 1 page. Before you know, you already have your CV written without knowing, or you have a report of what you're going to do. So that is very, very important. So let's be able to communicate. There are a lot of URL that are not readily available. That is, yeah, of course. So when you are working in the sprint, some things are not ready. So you need to create your test cases. Then you're going to do that. Let's have video for self-practice. That is me. Yeah. So more often than not, I think free conference it's got limitation in terms of space and everything, but I think this particular video it should be available, so I will send that across to you today. So yeah, so let's now look at what went well. Collaborations and brainstorming within the team. So some teams are doing very well. To be honest, I can give kudos to shout out to team 1 and team 3. They are doing fantastically well. So thanks for that. So they are doing very well. So, and also some member of the team still need to put themselves together. So team 2 is just coming together. So, and So I know that when they kick start like today and yesterday, I can see some progress in what they are doing, so which is good. So assisting each other with test cases, this is another good thing. So because if you assist other people, then you already have a body. You don't know what's going to happen. This is about in this era, it's about networking. You don't know who you are going to assist. Maybe it's going to be a test manager tomorrow. We don't know. So use the network that you have right now. Most of us in this particular group, we have a common thing. Common thing will mean that okay, we are looking for software testing. We are in the same industry, so use this network. Network with people, assist people, and you don't know who's going to give you a reference for that. Might be personal reference, or it's okay. You don't know. I'll tell you, you don't know who is in this group, and you may not know there's a test manager in this group. So when you're lagging behind, this person is seeing you. So please use all the resource. So getting prompt response from product owner. Okay, I think maybe that's me. So well, okay, this also takes effort, but yeah, thanks for that. So yeah, we also need to keep the question coming. So willing attitude teams toward learning, so which is also good. I've seen some people that having to go to YouTube, watch video. To be honest, is really good. So I think we are doing very well on product owner qualifying all issues, and also which are not also went where help with reducing time that could be wasted, which I think is also a good thing. So yeah, question on the chat went where it is interesting way to learn about what is happening in a working environment. So I try to make sure it is more practical as possible. So to be honest, so because there's no point going through theory without having to see what went where. So if you don't have experience, to be honest, you are not going to get more from working experience than what you have. So what I do at work is what I'm actually giving, and I know some other people will testify with me. I'm not the only person that working here. So there, like I said, there are other people in this forum that has got more experience that I have. It's only I got privilege to be the product owner. So, and they will agree with me that it's not what we are doing here. It's so similar to what you do at work. It's so similar. So, and that's why you need to take every opportunity to make it work. So people responding to chats, yeah, I get it. That's very, very important. Even before I respond, some people have already responded. So post your questions, no matter what's happening. I want to not people waiting for me to respond to those questions. So people also respond to the questions. So, and to be honest, those questions, those answers are always spot on, even if it's not spot on. So, and it's okay for people to correct you to say, oh, this is a bit on point, or it's for us to get better at this. So I just started the internship today, trying to marry the. I don't think there's any marriage here anyway, but say marriage relationship between VS2. Okay, there's a long way to go, to be honest. So I would say talk to your team members, to be honest. So that's the point of this thing. So started internship today. Okay, let's say I know that. Okay, talk to your team members, to be honest. So, and also talk to other team members also if you know anyone, so they can help you to push it through. I think this video today also actually covers end-to-end about VSTS and Trello, so they should also help you in that area. I can now write test case that went well. To be honest, that is what I want. That is what I want to achieve. So on that note, I think we can actually wrap up the internship and say we've finished. So that is what we want. So I can say, okay, when I have feedback like that, okay, people say, oh, I couldn't do this, but right now I can actually do this. So this is what we want to achieve in this one. Easy to understand. Yeah, to be honest, sometimes I can blab around, but let's make life easy for everyone. So it's, yeah, so your communication and response time is awesome. Oh, thank you. Then something went, I don't know what went bad there. Oh, so why did you not put me into if oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, you know what I did was to put everybody in a box and dip my hand into different teams. So but to be honest, team 2 also is doing very well. So like I said, they didn't have anything to work on. So I've said some of them are my fault also because I didn't. But I think they are right now today they are also doing well, and they have even more people. And I'm actually giving them because they didn't have any gift-rich work to do because some of them were moved out. So sorry about that because uh, there was no time for development. So and I couldn't get development resource to get that sorted. But I've given them different, I think say another challenging projects to work on. So to be honest, you're going to see more of. And I've got a very some capable hands there. So as in one test lead, one read test manager, to be honest, and I cannot say Yemi is awesome. He's got real life more than is it 3 or 5 years now. It's in automation testing and also manual testing. So and I think you got a huge resource. I think your team has got the best resource right now. So to be honest, I can say so in terms of what you have. To be, I'll say that. So and other teams also. So I think that is a wrap. So any other questions? So as you can see now, the first sprint I can say is we understanding Agile, know how Agile is, know the tools that you can use for Agile. So this particular sprint now is when I want to see test cases being written, bugs being raised, stories being moved, and everything that I want to see. Please, is very very important. So by then also we focus on automation by next sprint. So this sprint manual testing. So by end of this sprint, you should be able to test everything in that. In we say as in all the stories you should know. Even if you are not testing it, you should know how to test them. So, and all the questions that you have before, just post them so that don't say it maybe it's rubbish or it's not rubbish. Just post every question that you have. And if you want to post it to me, that's fine. You can post it privately to me. But to be honest, if you post it privately to me, I'll still post it even to the Go group because I know everyone wants to learn from this program. So yeah. So please, I would beg everyone to take it seriously. So let us know with our time. It's your time. It's my time. So I think at the end, let us make use of this opportunity. And thank you so much for the time and also for listening to my blabbing again. So for those ones that are doing automation, so we'll meet on Thursday. So on Thursday, so we do automation in the 8 to 9. So and I think parts hours because I like talking too much. So I've been trying to push part session again to Thursday. So which is the professional development. So where she's going to go through maybe a bit of CV, how to apply for jobs. So which type of tools use for jobs, how do you structure your CVs and everything. So that comes on Thursday on 9 to 10. So 8 to 9 we're going to do automation testing. So then 9 to 10 part is going to go through CVs for us, how your CV should look like, how you should. Initially I wanted to do it today, but I thought there are other people also in the automation group that will be interested in that session. So I think, like I said, she does that very well. So and yeah, so yeah, thanks for that. So we see on Thursday. So for those people who are interested in automation, so also for the career professional development course. Okay, thank you so much. That is me done.
Thank you.